Well, hello everybody. Our fearless leaders away doing fearless leader things, and welcome to your game day prediction show. It's the run in. Things are getting serious now with nearly 5,000 fans heading to the Wigan game tonight. I cannot wait. Let's bring on your game day prediction show. Well, boys, I stuffed up the timing at the end of that to do the intro song, but anyway.
What you did is you switched off the media assets.
There we go. How are you, fellas?
We're doing good.
Well, it's getting to that time of the year, isn't it? Like we got this weekend, then we got Easter weekend, next weekend. It's all going to happen very quickly.
Yeah. By the end of next weekend, we will probably know how things are going to shake out, or at least very close. We'll be very close to how things are. Or we won't know at all, and it'll be terrible. But good chance that by the end of next weekend, next Monday.
Next 10 days, boys. 3 matches.
10 days. I know. I can't wait. I'm excited.
Yeah. And boy, do we have a run. What have we got? We got Wigan, Blackpool, Charlton? No. I've missed Bristol.
No. You got Wigan, Bristol Friday,
Blackpool.
and then Blackpool on Monday.
Wigan, Bristol, Blackpool. Yeah, I missed Bristol. Sorry, Bristol. We'll come and see. We'll see you at our place soon.
Yes.
Well, I mean, look, we're into it. I mean, what have we got? It's up, heading towards 5,000 fans heading to Wigan. So, I mean, it's going to be a huge Red Army
big match
headed off there, and it is a big match, isn't it? When you look at the table, I mean, we still are only 3 points clear of Wickham, so we really do have to win tonight because they're playing Stevenage. So, I'm expecting them to win tonight as well at home.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, more than likely. The pressure needs to keep going now.
Very exciting. Yep. It's funny. Like, I've been distracted in the last week thinking about the opportunity to actually go watch them play, coming down. Like, I want the news to be official that they're coming to Australia.
Yeah.
Then I'm going to be super.
That'll be fun. I'm excited for you. I'm hoping that you guys get to see him. I had the opportunity to see him here in the States, so that was a lot of fun, and I'm hoping you get the same experience we did.
Yeah, wow. And I mean, I couldn't tell you how many of our local pundit family have from Australia have reached out to me and said, Ken, are we going? Can we get tickets? Can we do this? Can we do a group together? So I'm really looking forward to getting our whole Australian local pundit community and anybody that wants to hop on the plane and make the trip down to check out a great country, then, you are more than welcome to spend time with us.
I have probably less than 1% chance of making that trip.
Yeah.
And this is, I think if people did the research now and actually had a look at how far it is to travel and how long it takes, they'll realise why it makes it quite hard for us to turn up and come and see a game or be.
Well, you've flown to the States. How long a flight is that for you when you came to the States?
14 hours.
14 hours, yeah. That's wild. Now, did you guys stop anywhere along the way? Like island hopping, or was that just a one shot?
Direct Brisbane to LAX.
Wow. It's wild.
Yep. Yeah. They can fly direct into San Fran, direct into Dallas. I think Air Canada flies direct into Vancouver.
Really?
To avoid a tariff, but that's a whole nother story.
No politics.
No politics at all. Well, boys, let's get into this. Hello to everybody in the channel, in the chat there, and let's get into it, boys. Let's have a chat about. I mean, we've got game day build up tonight. We play Wigan. What do we want to do? We want to start with our game, or do we want to maybe go through some of the other games that are happening tonight?
Yeah, whatever. I'm easy.
Let's go through some of the other games. Let's get through some of the other non-interesting games. I guess we'll get them out of the way first. Bristol, and I'm going to work way backwards up my list here. Bristol Rovers are at home to Exeter City. Well, Exeter's sitting in no man's land. They're on the beach. Bristol do need to win tonight because they're only 3 points out of the relegation zone with Burton behind them with a game in hand. So if Bristol lost tonight and then come up against us, there's a massive opportunity for Burton to catch them.
Yeah. Also, yeah. So I'm kind of torn on how I want that one to go, because I don't really massively care, but would we prefer them winning going into our game so that they feel a little more safe?
Yeah.
Or would you prefer them to lose and then maybe have their heads down because, God, we're on this terrible losing run? Or they're desperate and they want to, they just have to win. It's interesting. I've been thinking about this all week.
I mean, their form god is they've lost their last 5 in a row.
I know. They've not been good. They've not been good at all.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think that's it. You make a really good point there, because if they did win and Burton possibly lost, then it would almost seal the fate of Burton.
Right. Yeah. They'd feel pretty safe at that point, you would think.
Yeah, and if I was going to argue it from your standpoint, then it's like if they've already got the 3 points, maybe they'd be happy with a draw with us. Whereas if they actually were desperate, they might have to come out and play us to try and force something. Yeah. So that's both sides of the coin.
Paddy with the insights.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, why don't we just go to that game next then? Because Burton, they're at home to Huddersfield.
Yeah, they should lose that.
I feel like,
still got
all over the place.
Yeah, I don't remember what I tipped, but I feel like Burton could win that.
I could tell you if you want.
Yeah, you
can. Or do you not want Paddy to know?
Oh, I don't care. I threw in the Discord. He sees it. He's already combed through it, I'm sure.
Well, yeah, that's true. Well, I'll let the full cat out of the bag then, because both myself and Aaron are the only two that have got our tips in so far. Paddy will get his in for sure. And I'm sure Josh, when he gets back from more better, he will do that as well. But you and I both tipped a Burton 1-0 win.
There we go. Okay.
Yeah. Well, and Huddersfield should win this. In theory, they sort of got more to play for, really, don't they? I mean, is it more to play for if you're in the playoffs, or is it more to play for to avoid relegation? What do you think?
I don't know. I mean, I don't know. They've been so bad. Huddersfield's been so bad. Like, I don't.
Yeah. No manager must hurt.
Can't help.
Well,
I mean, let's face it.
I would. Sorry.
You go, Paddy.
Hey, don't speak at once. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, what I was going to say is some of the Huddersfield players could actually be playing to keep their contracts, because new manager coming in off a terrible season. Some of those players, if they want to stay, better kind of up their game.
Well, and when you look at it, I mean, Huddersfield are on 8th spot on 64 points. They are 4 points behind Reading now, who's still in that 6th playoff spot. So if they don't win tonight, they could almost be on the beach.
Yeah.
So
getting very close for them, certainly. Yeah.
Well, okay. Well, next up, what have we got? We've got Barnsley at home to Bolton. So Barnsley sitting there on 13th spot in 54 points on the beach. Bolton in 7th spot on 66, 2 points behind Reading. Massive game for Bolton.
Yeah.
Real quick, I had to shout out Welsh Techie. This guy, first of all, are we promoted yet? My pants have just set off the smoke alarm. Remember, he's not changing his pants until we get promoted.
Lucky pants. Well, at least he's wearing pants.
But shout out to Welsh Techie, because that dude has been all over every podcast, I think, in the Wrexham universe this week. And I was just doing a lot of catching up today. I think I listened to about 10 hours worth of Welsh Techie today, just getting caught up on all the different shows and stuff he's been on. So
if Josh was here, Josh would say it's like he's just released a movie and he's doing the rounds.
Yep,
promoting
exactly.
The movie.
Yeah. There you go. No, I love Welsh. I love listening to Welsh Techie. So it was good listening. Good listening today.
Fair enough. So yeah, I guess. Well, there we go. So I mean, Bolton definitely with more to play for there, and
I agree.
We'll put a lot of pressure on. So I do expect Bolton to win that one tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God! Next up, Cambridge at home to Charlton, boys. So Cambridge sitting in 23rd spot. Basically, they're gone. 35 points. Mathematically, they still can avoid relegation, but it ain't going to happen.
Yeah, they're going to get relegated. But
But
they can play hard.
yeah.
I mean, we saw it. They're not an easy team to beat at home. Charlton is kind of hit and miss here lately. I mean,
little bit drew their last game. What do you think, Paddy? How do you think it'll go?
Yeah, I most likely they will lose. However, a draw is a possibility.
Well, let's play out John Hills's theory there of a draw, which would put them to 74 points. Now, if we could get a win tonight and go to 81, that'd put them 7 points behind us.
no, we'd be on 84. We're on 81.
Oh, sorry, 84. Yes, sorry, my apologies. 84.
Yeah.
So 74, 84,
So we'd be 10
points behind us with 4 games to go.
Yep.
It literally is can't. Well, I'm saying they can't make second now anyway, but it's almost mathematical then.
Yeah.
It's getting close.
It's getting real close. I think Charlton are probably just too far
off
already. I can't imagine if we drop 8 points between now and the end of the season. That's a massive drop off.
Well, that's almost like going straight out the back door.
Yeah, I mean, it's we're talking about dropping 8 points out of 15. That'd be a hell of a drop from where we've been. So it's not impossible, but it's probably implausible at this point. So I'm getting to the point now where I'm kind of writing Charlton out of the automatic promotion hunt, and so now they'll be looking to maybe freshen things up in some of these few games. Maybe they won't just yet, but probably soon they'll be looking to get some fresh legs in, rest some of the guys knowing that they've got to go into the playoffs and they want to be healthy and ready and maybe on a good run. So it'll be interesting to see how they play, because that game against us could be important. We may need a result in that game against Charlton. And so where are they at that time may make a difference on what kind of team they put out. So.
And Paddy, before I get your thoughts on that, Aaron went from improbable to implausible.
Yep.
Big words.
Hey, I listen to smart people talk sometimes. I just say what they say and then see if it works.
Well, why don't we move? The next one's boring as crap. We'll go straight over this nice and quickly. I was going to say I'll get Paddy's thoughts on this, but Crawley Town are at home to Leyton Orient. So Crawley Town, we'll get through this one pretty quickly. They're gone. They're heading down. They're on 36 points. Yes, they can mathematically still get out of there, but probably not going to happen. At home to Leyton in 9th, who is the last team probably on the ladder that can still make the playoffs on 63 points. Yeah. So
they'll hope for a win and just kind of hope for a real outside possibility of making that playoff.
Yeah.
Unlikely though it is. But.
Yeah.
Well, let's pick the next one. Stockport versus Rotherham, Paddy. Stockport sitting in 4th spot on 74. Rotherham on the beach on 54 points, right in the middle of the pack, but have won their last 3 games.
Yeah, on a good run. They're on a good run of form.
That can go anyway.
Yeah, they dumped Steve Evans, and all of a sudden they started winning with my team. Imagine that.
Yeah, I wasn't giving. I purposely looked at the games. I thought I'm not giving Aaron the comments on this. I'm going with Paddy on this.
Yeah, this is up in the air. It really is, and any of them can pull this one off on their day. It'll probably go Stockport's way, but no guarantee.
These are the banana peel games, aren't they, for fill up the playoff teams? Because the mid-table teams, they got really nothing to play for. But like Paddy mentioned earlier, the players that are probably playing for a contract and they play with a little bit more freedom.
Yeah. I think it was Ollie Rathbone, I think maybe he was talking about this in his interview. Somebody was talking about in one of the interviews I listened to this week. And I think it was Rathbone's interview on Men in Blazers. And they were talking about some of the teams you'll be playing. You get to these teams that are they're mid pack, but sometimes that just they're free. They don't have no pressure on them. Whereas we're going to have a ton of pressure on us, and those types of teams can be dangerous because it's like, who cares? It's a free hit, If we lose, it doesn't matter. It doesn't hurt anything.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting. Some of these games will be interesting.
I mean, Lincoln City at home to Shrewsbury. Wow, Lincoln City sitting in 11th spot just above Rotherham. Shrewsbury, absolute cellar dwellers. it's good night to them.
Yeah, they're done.
They're gone. So there's neither of these teams have really got anything to play for, to be honest.
Yeah.
As Paddy's just had an emergency,
Yeah.
so that's okay. We'll get him back in a sec. There's two interesting ones, and I mean for different reasons. Northampton at home to Reading, Aaron. So Northampton sitting down in 19th and pretty safe from relegation now, 7 points clear, but they wouldn't want to lose 2 in a row.
No, that's yeah, I know what you mean. I know what you're saying.
Right now they feel safe.
Right.
But they lose 2 in a row, and all of a sudden there's 3 games to play, and
I just keep going back to when we played Northampton. They were the worst. I swear that was the worst team we played all year.
Agreed.
And they've gotten results against decent teams here lately.
Yep.
So I mean, like, for instance, they beat Peterborough 4-0. I mean, So
I don't see your point, Aaron.
I don't know how that happens. I don't know how that happens, but
I do. Peterborough are so hot and cold.
Oh my gosh! It's crazy. I don't know. Northampton. Though, I just can't get past like how bad they were when we played them, and they offered absolutely nothing. So I would like to see Reading win here.
Yeah, I agree. And then and Paddy, just as you jump back in, the 2 early games tonight obviously are us against Wrexham, but the other one is Wickham at home to Stevenage.
Yeah.
So Wickham with so much to play for, you'd have to see them getting up, wouldn't you?
Yeah, you would think so. You would, generally.
But then we go back to our conversation around teams in the middle of the pack with nothing to lose. And Stevenage can play with freedom tonight.
Yeah, look, it wouldn't be ridiculous, again, a draw. All the teams are capable of doing it. We know this. So every match is dangerous in its own way. Stats should go their way, but will they get the result? Let's hope not.
Yeah. Now, Mad Al's just mentioned this, and we'll get into that in a sec. Manager of the month, Parky getting manager of the month for those of you that didn't know.
Someone was going to say.
I don't believe in hexes. Not going to happen, Mad Al. We're going to go out there and win.
Yeah, look, if you're winning matches, you're going to get the manager of the month, and what can you do?
Yeah, what can you do if you're successful? Well, I tell you, he must have. I don't know about those hex because surely at the end of last season he must have got it as well. And I don't know if he got manager of the month for March. I want him to get manager of the month for April, and then everything will take care of itself.
Yeah. I agree. I'm down with that.
Yeah. Yep. Let's get on to it, boys. The big match for us tonight, Wigan at home to Wrexham. And have you heard of all the changes in our lineup for tonight or tomorrow for some? Breaking news.
Yeah, I can't imagine there'll be much for changes.
Couple of potential injuries.
Maybe, but I bet they play. I would be surprised if there's any changes. And it depends. I did see somebody comment that looking through the videos today that were, I think it was today, that were posted by the club. Didn't see Rodriguez in training. So we don't know. There's some weirdo in the background. I don't know what he's doing.
We've got to behave, people. Upper management's keeping an eye on us.
Everybody quiet. We got a creeper in the background.
Does he want to come in? It's thumbs up, thumbs down.
He knows the button.
There he goes. He's got the button.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we got you.
Yeah. Can you hear me in the microphone?
Yeah, you sound good.
Okay.
You're a little bit distant, but it's okay.
Yeah, I'm just waiting to still here. Still here. Listening to you guys.
Right on.
That is good show, fellas. Don't worry, the lighting will get better. Trust me.
That's okay. You having fun there?
Yeah, it's offices are beautiful. Offices are beautiful. By the way, you're supposed to have this one up. Match day preview. What up?
Yeah.
There you go. All right, good show. Sorry, I'm being annoying. I'll see you guys later.
Oh, you're good. Bye.
Not sure about those curtains.
Who says he doesn't keep an eye on us?
Yeah, this guy's spying on us. We're being spied on, just in case we get out of hand.
Yeah, that's right. Well, look at this. Actually, interestingly enough, So there's there's only 10 games tonight. So there's 4 teams that aren't playing, which is obviously Peterborough and Birmingham.
Yeah.
Now, I actually have to think. Mansfield's not playing tonight. Who's the other team that's not playing tonight? Mansfield. As I look through the list, is it Blackpool? Yeah, Blackpool. Mansfield and Blackpool aren't playing tonight. Well, tomorrow for some, obviously. Tonight for me. And obviously, well, let's give them their 15 seconds in the limelight, Peterborough and Birmingham, getting ready for the Virtue Cup final. I think that's a big game for both of them. And who do we think's going to win the Virtue Cup?
It's got to be Birmingham, surely. I think they got 50 some odd thousand fans going to Wembley. I can't imagine they lose that game.
John Merrill, who's I'm not even putting John's comments up, but John's bringing in all his mates now. Brummy Az, welcome, Brummy Az, whoever that is.
We'll take the subscribers.
Yeah, and welcome, and good luck. I don't have a dog in this fight, and I don't honestly care who wins. I sort of feel like Birmingham deserve it. They deserve this season to have the flag, the cup, take everything. I mean, they've got the best team. I think they deserve to win it.
Deserving doesn't really count, though, does it? Yeah, you better play.
You are a Peterborough fan now, Paddy.
Well, I think I have to be for this weekend. I think it's only fair.
Actually, on that note, Paddy, have you got any presents arrived lately? I hear they were in customs or out of customs.
Still haven't got them.
It still hasn't turned up on my door.
Wow. They've got to turn up before the end of the season. I've got to see you in this end of the season.
Yeah. They're telling me it's out for delivery, so who knows?
Right. Actually, I'm just going to quickly click on Peterborough here and have a look at their remaining games. So you're not going to have it for the Virtue Cup, right? So let's have a look at the rest of Peterborough's season. So they have home to Stockport, away to Barnsley, home to Bolton, away to Mansfield, and away to Rotherham. Now, if only I could get Aaron a Rotherham kit in time, and we could have Aaron in a Rotherham kit and you in the Peterborough kit doing a watch along. That would probably be the most fun for me to watch.
Oh, shoot, that'd be funny. No chance. Although it is fun to see my recruited players doing well.
So. Yeah. And I mean,
out of that list, the Stockport is the most interesting match, I think.
Yeah. So, I mean, okay, so what are we expecting out of us tonight, boys? What are we expecting?
3-0.
3-0. Hammer.
3-0. Scores straight up.
What I don't remember. What I tip? A 2-0, I think. 2-0. Is that what I did? Yeah. Here's the thing. Wigan don't offer anything going forward.
Yeah.
So I feel pretty confident in the clean sheet. And I gotta think we can put some goals in. I think 2-0 is probably safe. Patty might be onto something with a 3-0.
Yeah.
Who picked 3-0 last week?
Did you pick it? I don't remember. I have no idea.
Yeah, and I tipped 3-0 this week. Paddy tipped 3-1 last week. Aaron tipped 2-1. So Aaron got the score last week. Now, I really feel like we probably want to get that for and against up, because if we don't get our for and against up now, and it does come down to even points with us and Wickham at the end of the season, we will not go up on for and against, because Wickham have to catch up points. So the natural movement of the for and against table goes against us.
Yeah. I don't think I just can't see it going to that. We should not have to worry about our goal difference. But if it works out the way I'm thinking it's going to work out anyway, where it's probably going to be your goal difference isn't going to matter. I mean, your goal difference will take care of itself because we're going to get more points in the run in. I think we're already ahead. I think we're gonna get more points in our run in our 5 games than they will. And with the goal difference being so close already, I think it probably takes care of itself anyway. So I think we'll probably finish on a higher goal difference, but also we're going to finish with more points.
Yeah, the problem with that kind of scenario is, though, if goal difference becomes important, it means that they have scored more points than us in these final 5 matches, which means the likelihood of us remaining behind in goal difference is quite high.
Exactly.
So I don't think goal difference is going to be relevant either way. We're either going to be nicely ahead on points, or if they do extremely well and we slip up a little bit, they'll have better results in the last 5. And look, maybe the ones we win 3-0, 4-0. So we could potentially still do the goal difference, but probably unlikely.
Probably, here's the thing: if they're close enough for us to be even on points, then they've probably scored more goals than us anyway, and so they're just going to extend that goal difference.
That would be the
you know what I mean?
Answer.
I mean, either way. So however ends up, however it ends up, I don't think goal difference is going to matter.
If I play out a scenario of us winning 3-0 tonight and then winning 1-0, then they're still 3 points behind, and we're even on goal difference.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Which means in the last 4 games, they've got to get 3 more points than us. So the for and against doesn't look good for us in that scenario. But I just clicked on their last 5 games, and it is Stevenage at home, Bolton away with a lot to play for, Charlton at home, Leyton Orient away, and then Stockport at home. I mean, we all knew how hard their running at the end was. And it's still staring me in the face. That's really tough.
Yeah, it's going to be tough, and because a lot of those games, most of those games are probably going to mean something to those teams too.
Well, 3 of them it means a lot for, doesn't it? I mean, Bolton next, Charlton after that, and Stockport at the end of the season.
Yeah, it's going to be and the Stockport game may not mean anything. Stockport may be resting players that week, because if Stockport are in a position where they're, if they're securely, say, in 4th spot, and they know they're going to be in 4th spot, they may say, rest them, no big deal. And really, because I think the way John Merrill, correct me if I'm wrong, I think 4th and 5th play each other anyway. So if you're secure in 4th or 5th spot, it doesn't matter.
Home and away.
Home and away.
I guess the home and away, okay, but
but I'll tell you what, for all of our blood pressures, I hope that Stockport game doesn't mean anything to us.
To us, yeah.
I hope not. Yeah.
The other consideration as well is, do you want to have a half team go out the week before you want to play your number 1 team the week after? It's like you break up the team, you let them play with other people, and then you put them back together after having rested them. It's like the intangibles. Sometimes that's not a good idea.
Paddy, I think the only reason you rest players at that point, and would only be a couple, is if they're really injured and you just want to get them a little bit healthier.
Yeah.
Beyond that, you want them playing together.
I think so.
Yep. So I think that's really important. But I mean, so let's face it. I mean, it just seems like every round, I'm not going to say every week because it's every round because we've got different games played at different times. The pressure right now just seems to be just slightly building. And I just want that gap to go beyond 3 just to take the pressure valve off a little bit.
Yeah. I don't want to come down to the last 2. I want it after Blackpool.
Yeah.
Well, we want Josh to enjoy his trip.
He can enjoy his trip getting wasted knowing they're up.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I don't know. I think I still think it's going to be hard. I was thinking Blackpool was going to be it, but the more I've looked at it, with Wickham winning in the midweek, I think it'll be hard to get it done by Blackpool, or at least more difficult now than it was.
Well, Wickham have to lose twice for that to happen.
That's what I'm saying. So I feel like Charlton might be the more realistic.
It is the one. Charlton is starting to look.
Yeah.
Right now, that is. Yeah.
So you're saying Wickham have to lose twice by
Well, they're
Blackpool?
3 points behind us, right? Let's say
Yeah,
they
we
lost.
need 7.
Hey?
We would need 7 after Blackpool.
Well, let's just say, okay, so if Wickham lose tonight and we win, well, then we're 6 points ahead of them.
Yeah, they need to. Yeah.
So you at least need 2. They need to drop points,
Draw.
Or they need to lose and a draw.
They need
Not
a loss
necessarily
and a
2
draw.
losses, a loss and a draw.
2
But
draws.
also, we need to win and win.
Right.
Yes, we do. Yes.
Yeah. So it's everything going our way, really, for it not to be done before Charlton.
Yeah. There's the outside chance that Blackpool could become our who was it last year? Forest Green. Blackpool could become the Forest where things just fall right and it works.
Where we need to win it and Wickham need to lose their match.
Yeah, exactly.
And then it's done.
Yeah, exactly. So it could become that, but we'll see. We'll know more. I mean, every game we're running out of games, so it's like every game that happens, it's means that much more. It gets that much more important. So.
And wouldn't that be great though? Charlton at home. Select crowd.
See, that's the argument. Would you rather? Wouldn't you, I mean, to me, I feel like I would rather win it at home, just because then you get the pitch invasion and all the fun stuff that you get with a promotion.
Yeah, the theater. The theater.
But for my heart, I think maybe, if we did it, in a couple games, that'd be great too.
Or you're Birmingham and you did it sort of in January.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, they've been sitting in the winner's circle since 2 months ago.
Yeah. And I really do want to go up with them. I think we got so much fun. I know, just so everybody out there, I know Aaron is already deep in the weeds on recruitment. I know Paddy's going to start getting into it too. Have you already started, Paddy? How far are you into it?
No, I'm not digging into it at all. I'm just going to support Aaron.
Yeah, I'm not. I've not done my homework yet, as opposed to last. And I didn't start my homework until the season was over last year, either, Aaron. So I'm going to leave that tiny little superstition there and not do it until I know.
I'm not deep. I wouldn't say I'm deep into. I've got a handful that I've kind of just a couple players I've looked at, 3 or 4.
Excellent. We're expecting. Okay, so big games out of any players tonight. What are we expecting tonight? Anyone going to stand out for us, you think?
Tonight, I think we need some. I think our attackers are going to have to stand out. I think Smith.
Yeah.
Maybe Smith gets a double, or maybe even a hat trick and just gets it done. Smith. I think Smith could be our key man tonight if he can get going and he's been on good form here lately. I think he's scored 3 in the last 5, I believe, without looking offhand. I think that's what I was looking at earlier today. So, he's starting to score for us. So,
Patrick Oden, Macca going back to his old club. You did see the thumbnail ad. Macca. Although, here you go. You went for a Sam Smith double or tonight or something along those lines. I'm going to go Marriott double tonight.
That'd be interesting. So, do you think Marriott starts then? Or do you just think he comes on? You think he comes on and scores?
Comes on and finishes it off.
Okay. So, working off of that, if J-Rod doesn't play, who do you think starts? Who do we think starts?
I think Marriott starts.
I think that's the obvious choice. I wonder if he doesn't go to Lee, though.
What? Yeah, possibly. But, I mean, I am so against starting Fletcher.
Yes. Yeah, I agree with that.
He's got his role, and he does it well.
Yeah. I know what you're. Yeah, I know what you're. I understand.
Less chance of injuring himself.
Right, but I
think Marriott could. Sorry, not Marriott. Fletcher could pull it off for a match.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I think too.
So just from that point of view, yes, I wouldn't mind him necessarily starting, but I don't want to risk him for multiple matches.
Right.
If he,
Yeah.
does something or uses up too much energy or whatever, because we need him in the other matches as well. So yeah, I would probably try Marriott. I don't think Lee worked. I can see why he would play Lee. I would actually be hoping at this stage that Marriott has been training in that position as well.
Yep.
To fill in, doing what Parky wants him to, because there's been plenty of time now to understudy.
Yeah.
So I just laugh about this when I think of people thinking about stuff from their own perspective. I don't care about Wigan time; it's my time, literally. And if you had anything to deal with, I've literally flown from one side of the country to the other, flown into my city at 1 a.m. in the morning, gotten up 5 hours later, driven home, and then literally come in with the boys and say, Polymath, I'm going to say it however I bloody think, because I'm probably not making much sense even to myself at the moment. And then I just laugh. I look at this, and then I go to Steve Barton. We're going to hold you to that, Steve.
Wait, hand and elbows?
Yeah, look,
you got a hairy hand or what, Steve?
Yeah, or are you just bald there and you're just covering yourself up?
I don't. Good Lord. No, yeah, I don't know. I'm starting. I don't know. I'm starting to get nervous about our running. Like I think it's because I know it's so close, and I'm just starting to I'm getting antsy, I guess. I just want to get it over with.
There's a bit of nervousness, isn't there, Paddy?
Yeah.
There is, because it's still a match or two away before they hit their really difficult matches for Wickham. Mm-hmm. And my head tells me there's not a hope they get through those 3 matches and win them all.
Right.
But there's always that chance, that last push, when they see that it's possible. Yeah. So it's nervy.
And I guess if you think about it, I fully expect them to win tonight, and I expect us to win, which means the status quo remains. The goal difference will be what it will be, but it'll be only 4 games to go then, and Wickham will be starting to believe.
Yeah,
and
they will until they lose their first match.
Well, hang on. What if we go and have a draw?
Yes, yeah.
I'm
actually more worried about that than worrying about them winning every match.
Me too. Me too. I think it's not completely unlikely that we may just win all these games. Like, we could just win the rest of our 5 games and nothing matters. But you get it's a little nervy, because we have played we haven't really blown teams away this season the way we have in prior seasons. And so
we need a Forest Green Rovers match right now, don't we?
Right. And it was, as much as, last week a 3-0 was great, it wasn't a classic 3-0 that you would think. You know what I mean? That was we scored 3 goals in the last 20 minutes or whatever of the game. So it's
talking about how we feel. Look at that, Paddy Marie from SoCal. I love that. Her nervousness is like she doesn't want to watch. It's like watching the television like this.
Yeah, I can see that.
Marie. I hear you, Marie.
And we hope you're getting better, Marie. I hope you're feeling well and recovering well. So, but I think it's it's just that nervousness, and I mean, I like it and I don't like it. I love the pressure. I really feel that we handle the pressure exceptionally well last year on the run in, and I've just got this sense we're gonna do it again.
Yeah,
that's what my gut's telling me.
We have finished strong at the end of every season so far, the last couple. So
so if you're 2 or 3% fitter across your whole squad than your opposition, that shows out on the pitch. And I think that's probably the case. I mean, Parky definitely creates a very mentally tough squad, and they all seem and fairly fit too. So I think we're sort of looking fairly good. I think it's sort of something that can happen. Is there anything else you boys want to cover today? Is there anything else you want to cover off? Well, we've been through all the games.
No, I mean, I did. Are there any other changes that you could see? Are we pretty well settled that he's going to go with the 11 he's been going with, assuming they're all healthy? Or do you think he'll make any changes for the sake of making changes? Like, do you think he'll make anything as far as maybe if somebody's got a little knock, maybe we rest them? Is this a game that you feel like you might be able to get away with resting some? What's your thoughts on that?
A little knock, no. I think you're playing if you're able to get out there. Maka playing against Wigan, it's going to happen. How do you keep him off the pitch? It's the problem. But yeah, I still would like that change to happen.
I'm not seeing any changes for here you go, Polymouth, tomorrow's game. But I mean, the only talk all week has been J-Rod. Zero changes for the back. If there's going to be any changes tonight, it's going to be J-Rod rested. If J-Rod's rested, I think it's either, in my opinion, it's either Marriott or Lee in that position. And I just think Parky has learnt his lesson, I think, terrible of me to say, from the beginning of the year where Lee had to play out of position and didn't handle it well. And it wasn't Parky's fault that Lee had to play there. He didn't have the strikers to put there, so Lee was filling a gap. And the other new strikers like Farland that weren't ready, and they're still not ready to take a starting role. So my gut tells me if J-Rod's not playing, then it's Marriott in that position with Fletcher retaining his super sub role. So
the only thing that makes me wonder about that is the fact that we haven't seen Smith and Marriott together yet. Marriott's always came on as the replacement for Smith, not to partner with Smith. And so I wonder how those two would play together. And not saying they can't. We haven't seen it. And maybe it's something they do in training all the time and we don't know. But it'll be interesting, the role change, because Marriott's coming in and taking over the role that Smith is fulfilling. Yep. So what role does Smith play? What role does Marriott play if they're playing together? I think
if Marriott plays, he has to play the J-Rod role. Keep the rest of the team the same.
I think so.
Keep the rest of the team playing the same way. Just say, Marriott, that's your role for today's game. Yeah. And that's what you've got to do. Now, in saying that, I still think J-Rod's playing.
I think so too.
I'll tell you what, though, and even if he is ever so slightly injured or carrying a slight niggle, bring him off at halftime.
Yeah.
Bring him off at halftime. Play half a match.
Yeah.
Like Fletcher for 45 minutes, no dramas whatsoever.
Yeah.
You know? So, and then, I just think Rathbone's in for a big one tonight.
See, John Hills is kind of hitting on this, and I've said this before. Marriott isn't that kind of player for me, and I'm not sure he can. Moles has played it well in the past. I actually do think Moles, not that I think Moles will start, because you're not going to bring a guy who hasn't even been on the bench straight in the starting lineup. I can't see that happening. So just let me get that out of the way first. I don't think there's a chance in hell Moles starts tomorrow or tonight, tomorrow, whatever. But I agree with the fact Marriott, he's a more of the on the shoulder type striker.
Yeah.
And so I'm not, maybe he can play that role. I just we've never seen him do it. And so maybe we change the format. Maybe we go back to a little more of a two up top instead of one in behind the other to make that, to fit Marriott in with Smith. I don't know. It'll be interesting. I don't know. That's one of the, we just don't know. We don't know until we see it.
You've given me 2 points now to throw to Paddy with. Remember how quick Marriott was the other night when we played over the top of Burton. So he could definitely play that hold role and his speed coming through. So there's one for you to talk about, Paddy. Second one, is Mullen didn't even play in that reserves game last, but imagine if he did play, Paddy. Imagine if they if Parky just said and brought him in. What do you think? There's two great points for you. What do you think?
Yeah, I kind of agree. If I had to choose Mullen or Marriott to play the J-Rod role and only play that role, I would potentially choose Mullen, leaving all other factors aside. Like the fact he's not been on the bench, he hasn't been playing very much. Just the two players. If I had to choose for that role for a match, I would potentially pick Mullen first. But then you have all the other factors. Has Marriott been training it? Has he been understudying just in case? Because we saw this coming potentially. Different factors there. If you're going to go back and change it and go flat 2 up front, I would potentially put Fal in then. Which is completely different.
We're overlooking Fal, who's been sitting on the bench from time to time.
Robert, real quick for Robert, he joined late. Nothing confirmed. We've got no confirmed. We're speculating. We're kind of playing around. The question was if he couldn't go, because there's been speculation of an injury. If for some reason he can't go, who would we replace J-Rod with? And that's what we're talking about at the moment.
Yeah, and kind of the reason it's been speculated so much at the moment is because we believe he wasn't in training with the rest of the team.
Was he not?
Not totally confirmed. As far as I saw, no one has absolutely said he wasn't there. But if you look at the released training video and other things, it has been stated. Well, it's not been stated. You can't see him. So he may have been there. He may just have been off camera. But it is believed he wasn't at training.
Yeah. And John Olsen, that was where my mind was going. Mull's sitting out the reserve game to keep him fresh, to come in and do exactly what Paddy just said. So come on in. Parky's like, I want you to score, but it's not essential. I want you to play that hold role, feed Sam, and there isn't a better team man than Paul Mullen. You watch him, even when he was in form.
Yeah.
I don't know of any other striker that would work so hard chasing a ball down like a dog with a bone.
Yeah.
For what would seem like no reward except to put pressure on the defenders.
And it's weird. There's that little intangible about having him on the pitch that just sort of pushes all the other players to play a bit better.
Yeah.
John
Merrill nailed it. Yeah, I did. John Merrill nailed it there. They were hideous. Those curtains were absolutely hideous.
Well, I'm telling you, the production company is going to take this feedback on board, and they're going to be like, "These guys don't like our curtains."
They're going to kick Josh out because we don't like the curtains.
So good.
I could see a scenario where I don't see a scenario where Mullen starts. I could see a scenario if they started Marriott. I could see Mullen on the bench.
Mofal?
Maybe Mofal, but I could see a scenario. As far as Mullen goes, I could see a scenario. I don't see him starting. I could see him on the bench if Marriott was starting. So.
Okay. Interesting. I mean, look, it's really good. It's really good to have these conversations. What I love about these conversations is the fact that we have these options at this time of year.
Yeah.
A lot of teams are putting out a team because it's the only team they can put out.
We're talking about players that aren't even making our bench.
Yeah.
Like we're not even talking about our bench players. We're talking about players that can't make our bench.
Yeah.
Teams don't have that depth.
No.
I mean, the only thing one of the things I'm really disappointed about at this part of the season is that Andy Cannon's injured. I really feel for Andy Cannon.
Yeah.
He was starting to hit form. He such a threat. Like him and Rathbone, those guys just work so hard, and Dobbo for that matter. But Rathbone and Cannon just offer that little bit more in attack than Dobbo.
Yeah.
And
Cannon was a different type of player that gave attacking options.
Yeah, he's kind of an in between Dobson and Lee.
And Lee.
He's he will go in and challenge hard, and he will fight.
Yeah.
But he's also capable of scoring. He'll give some
And I do
forward.
want to see Elliot Lee do something special in the next couple of games
Yeah,
for Elliot Lee.
yeah,
Hmm.
yeah, absolutely.
Mm.
He's due one.
Yeah, well and truly.
I'd like to see one of those takes the ball on the left corner of the box and just shifts it towards the middle and just hammers one in the top corner. Those are
Actually,
he's so
Paddy,
good.
did you duck over through the week and work on taking corners training with the team, or
No.
get it past that first defender?
I swear to God, I will be shouting at the first defender if balls are going into him. I'm like, seriously.
Yeah.
They're my two go-tos at the moment. Is triangle and fucking beat the first man. I swear to God.
Well, let's go. Look at this. I love this. Patrick Oden is trying to get me going. We too low. Mullins hat trick. Well, he's got to get in the team in some way, shape, or form to get it.
I don't care whose hat trick. Anyone's hat trick.
Yeah, that'd be fine. I'll take a hat trick from Okonkwo at this point. Whatever. Whoever.
Dan Moore, if they had just had a panned a little bit wider, you would have seen Paddy there with his manager's kit on, with the boots on, like every good manager. They got their boots on, and they're like, "Get it past that first defender."
Did it? I haven't watched all of it, but I saw like a clip where he kicks it. Like he's definitely taking corners, but I didn't see where the ball went. So did it in fact get past the first defender, or was Owen O'Connell standing there just nodding that thing down like, get it out of here, try again.
Yeah. So boys, well, I think we've pretty much covered that. We might wrap this up.
Yeah, I don't got anything else to talk about. The only other thing I know of that's exciting is apparently they've recreated dire wolves. Has anybody else seen this? This is awesome.
They've recreated a wolf. I'm not quite sure it's a dire wolf. They might be pretending it is, but
it's a genetically modified wolf to whatever that means. Yeah, that was exciting.
Super exciting. The other thing which Josh did cover off on the week is May 15.
Yes.
Welcome to Wrexham.
Welcome to Wrexham.
Yeah. Yes. There you go. Yeah.
That's great. 8 episode season. I see someone wasn't happy about 8 episodes.
No.
What do you want, Paddy? 24?
16 would do.
6 doesn't happen anymore.
It should.
It should.
It's only a bit of editing. They have all the footage. Come on, boys, do better.
I got to push back a little bit.
Unless they're an hour. Unless they've bumped it up to an hour.
I got to push back on some of these comments. We're getting a lot of anti direwolf comments right now. Okay, now listen. Okay, the problem is, you can say it's a modified gray wolf. Fine. Okay, it is, but if it's modified in all the ways that were the differences between a gray wolf and a dire wolf, and it's modified to be just like a dire wolf. Look. How's it? How are we? If it looks like a duck and it talks like a duck and it walks like a duck, it's a duck. Am I wrong here?
Okay. Riddle me this, Batman, because I honestly don't know the answer. Okay.
I'll riddle.
Were dire wolves actually a real thing?
Yes.
Were they a real species?
Yeah. Yeah, in they're in North America. They're a North American species. Went extinct about 10,000 years ago.
Aaron, I'm going to say, who cares?
I'm just pushing back a little on the comments. Yeah.
I love the fact you were so deep in it. You had your head down, and you're thinking about it, and you're like,
I may or may. Okay, speaking of deep dives, I may or may not have done a deep dive on the dire wolves today.
Okay,
Well,
one
look,
of the best comments, I don't know who put it up there, it's back a little bit, is call me when they make a T-Rex.
Oh, yeah, there you go. Exactly.
so I'm gonna put that one up because John, you do deserve to get that up. Aaron, are you 12? And I think we're gonna finish it off with, guys, don't forget, like and subscribe, share the channel. Just take a second. That's it.
Uh-oh.
They got me. They got me again. Yeah, see, you found it. You know which one I'm laughing at.
Yeah, I saw.
Would it be that one, Paddy?
We need answers. We need answers. Come on, let's hear it, Patty. Let's hear it. Let's go.
I like things flat.
Hot dog sound is way. I saw that the other day on X. Hot dog shaped Earth.
No, I'm sorry, guys. As funny as it would be to try and pretend I'm a flat earther, I flew over 3,000 flights as cabin crew. I know what a curve of the Earth looks like.
So, well, boys, predictions for tonight. Aaron, you've gone.
Hey, real quick, Ruth H. I did forget. Wrexham's women's under 19s won they won the title. I can't remember what it was called, but yeah, it's Adrian Premier U19s whatever title I think today. Congratulations to them. Congrats to them.
Yeah, fantastic news. And the women's team's got a big game against, I think, TNS coming up. Is it?
Yes, they've got TNS. That's Sunday, correct? I think. Yeah, and that is their last game of the season.
Yep.
I can't remember. I think they can get second still, or can they not?
No, second,
maybe not. They can't quite get second.
Third. Okay. Yeah, it's confirming third.
Okay. Yep. Okay, gotcha. Okay.
So, well, boys, let's get the predictions for tonight, and let's get out of here, hey? So, Aaron, 2-0 from you.
2-0.
3-0 from me. Paddy?
3-0.
3-0. Well, everybody out there, up the town, let's get this done. What do we think, boys? On that bombshell?
On that bombshell.
See you later.
Bye. Up the